Hello everybody, how are you? Welcome back. Welcome back. We're back at the Tamiya TT-02 White Special build. You'll see this time I remembered my snips before I started, so I'm obviously well prepared today. Makes all the difference. I want to make a quick shout out to a guy called Jack Cherry, because yesterday on the previous video he was like, hurry up and do part 4 because I'm thinking about buying one of these things, and you know, I'm watching your build series. So hi Jack, I'm building today, so you've got part 4 today. Awesome. That's if my internet is fast enough to upload it before the end of today. So you might not see it today, but we'll see. We'll see. What else is going on? This has been an extremely cold weekend for me because yeah, on Friday evening I went to put pizza in the oven, which is my AGA, my range cooker, which also heats the house and also heats the water, so I kind of rely on it. And I thought, oh no, that oven's a lower temperature than it was a little while ago. Opened the other side up, obviously found that the flame had died. I'd ran out of heating oil for the house. This was on Friday evening, and I'm now speaking to you on Tuesday. It just got delivered about half an hour ago, and I've just literally, before putting the camera on, I've just literally lit it again. So the house is cold, but never mind. At least it's not the middle of January. So, where did we get to last time? We completed the front end. Well, we completed the drive shafts, the uprights, the hubs on the front end. Now we're getting to the rear uprights is the next stage, so we'll just go straight into that. So for the rear uprights we need the 2 bearings and the 2 axles, and obviously parts A11. Right? I know that I'm going to move this around a little bit because I know that the screen here, when you put it on video mode, zooms in a little bit, and you kind of crop a little bit this out, so I'll be moving this around, so bear with me. So the bearings, C3, using a wider tread. Look at that. Oh, I see, that's cool. So if you're going to use a wider tread, a staggered tread, so you have it wider at the back than, excuse me, than at the front, I think you have on many sort of supercars and very high performance saloons and things, you can get a wider rear stance. But I'm not going to go for that because I'm putting it on a Lancia Delta Incidentally body shell, and that car has 4-wheel drive and is the same track width all the way along. So we'll go for C3, 2 of them, and BB3, the bearings. Now the bearings are all, the ones that are left are all the same size. So I know for a fact it'll be these 2 bearings here. There's the 2 bearings. And C3, where's C? Where's my C3 for C3? This is the B tree. What is this? This is the A tree. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, C3. C2. We don't want C2, we want C3. Ha! Where are they? Where are they? Ah, what about this? C3, here's one, and here's the other one. Okay, so we've got them here. C3 and C3. Okay. Any burrs? Yes, major burr. Ha, snippers, snips. Got them here. Boom, there we go. The other side was okay. Get rid of that. This one's fine. Right. And A11, 2 of. A3. There's 11. There it is here, the hub. And the other A3 will be here somewhere. I'm just looking for a hub here. There it is. I assume. A11, yes. Snippity snip time. That one came off. That one came off great. Can we reproduce that? Yes, nice. Right. Another thing you might have noticed, of course, if the sun goes behind the clouds here, I might lose this. But I'm getting closer to getting the camera dialed in. I'm beginning to understand it a little bit more. And what has also helped is I've replaced all of the light bulbs in the house with brand new brighter LEDs. They used to be 350 lumens, now they're 500 lumens, and even more importantly, there's no flicker. Certainly I never saw any flicker. And let me guys, well, I was going to say let me know in the comments, but obviously I'll edit the video so I'll know before you guys know, so why did I ask that? The point is that the house should look better, and the camera should look better, and your guys should be able to get to enjoy the video a little bit more. So That's the whole purpose behind it. There we go. I do ramble, don't I? Jeez, I do go on. Right. What do we need? MB4. 4 times. MB4 screws. These are the big long dark coloured screws with the thread on the one end. I haven't opened this packet yet. Is there any more that has been opened? No. I'll open this packet then. Is this an MP4? No. Make sure that's in the screen there. Yeah, that's an MP4, so I need 4 of those. 1, 2, 3. Oop, dropped something there. Is there another one in there? Yeah, yes there is. There we go. 4 of them. C2 times 2. Gearbox joint. Out drive. I found them a minute ago, didn't I? And put them away. C3, C6, C2. There they are. 1, 2. Horrible blurs. Horrible blurs. There we go. No, that one's fine. Okay, sweet. C2's there, MB4's are here. What are we looking at? Yep, they go on the top. Yeah, okay, dead easy, yep. So, oh. C1s are there, C1s, C2s. Sometimes it's funny that sometimes they have everything down the side that you need in this step. Sometimes they don't, and you've got to look at the picture as well. So C1 drive shafts are also required, obviously, because we're putting the hubs and everything on. C1. I use the drive shafts on this piece, so I'll use this one. C1, that's the ones. They are good. Right, so we're putting in the out drive first. Don't even need to look at the instructions for this bit really. In here, it'll slot in. There it is. It's slotted in. Drive shaft. This is a little bit fiddly because you need to sort of hold that there. Hub. Now, is it the top? Yes. You see here, there's a longer bit there and shorter bit there. Longer bit, shorter bit. It looks like the longer bit faces down. Yes, it does. So the longer bit goes onto the bottom arm and the shorter bit goes onto the top arm. And we just sit it like that. And the MB4s go straight through the top and bottom arms, through the hub. So basically here, through there, and they're only threaded on the one side, which makes it easier to put together. I'm not sure if it's more reliable or not than having one that's attached at both ends. It probably isn't. It's probably got a little bit of wiggle as a result of being only attached at one end, but for this construction phase, it makes it dead simple. I'll use my medium length one, I think. There we are. Threads in really nice. Plastic's lovely and pliable, as it has been throughout this build. Nice quality plastics on this cart. There's the first one on. Look at that. Very little suspension travel, but I suppose it is a touring car. Whoop, whoop. Holy crap, look how overexposed that is. Come on, focus, yep, thing you. There you go. There, oh, come on camera. Come on. Right there, right there. No, not at all. No, just gonna ignore me, just gonna do whatever the hell you want, fine. Look, yeah, see? Right, I need to sort that out. That's this camera's got 3 different auto zoom features. You can do it with manual zoom, manual focus rather. 3 different auto focus settings. Obviously there's manual zoom, that's one of them, and then you got 3 autofocus settings, one on face, self-explanatory, one on one zone, and one on something else. I'm like, alright, well, that doesn't seem to it seems to be okay on my hand. Maybe it's the overexposure of the white. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know a lot about photography. This is all new to me. But I'll keep practicing, and eventually, hopefully, I'll have it sorted, and I'll be able to put better quality video forward for you guys, because that's what it's all about. Unless, of course, it just amuses you, the fact that I'm like not particularly competent with my camera. Maybe that's amusing. Right, in there. This one in here. Oh yeah, that's the rear one's on now. The rear arms are on. Now, will you focus, or will you just full on ignore me? Nah, it's it doesn't like the white. I think the white is just glary. There you go on this camera. Phone cameras are not as good, but they're way more simple. Now, the next step is what's this? Shock absorbers, by the looks of it. We had 6 MB6s, which are like the ball studs, the ball connectors they're calling them here. So I can see one. Where we're at the front again. We're at the front again. Oh, I see they're in front and rear in the same stage. That makes more sense. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, so yeah. Why? You can see here on the camera, you've got the MB6s here. 1 and 2, they're in the front, which are on these lower suspension arms, the top holes in the lower suspension arms. There and there, there and there, there and there. And then you have the back end uses the same, all 4 of them are these MB6s. So you've got the 2 in the shock tower, 1, 2, probably won't focus, 1, 2, see? And then you've got the bottom arms again, top holes, bottom arms, 1, 2, like that. However, on the front, for the shock tower, you don't use those MB6s. Why? There's only 6, not 8 of them. You're using these BC2 threaded rods, and what are these? Is this this BC1 part? I think it is. Yeah, it's BC2, BC1 ball connector nuts. So for some reason, that's what you're doing on this. You're not using these. That's different, but okay, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. So let's get the MB6s on first, because there's 6 of them. We can do it all in one big shot here. Are they in this bag? No, they're not. Are they in this bag? Yes. Well, the thread looks slightly longer on the real thing than on this page. Come on. Is that? No, it's the same. Get round you little... Right, there we go. No, it's the same. It's the same. Right, 6 of those. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll do them first. So, like I say, only the bottom ones in the front, and then all 4 at the back. Now, I think you're able to use the included wheel nut spanner, wheel nut spanner, whatever you want to call it. The kit included one for this, if it slots over the ball section properly. Now, I would be doing it on this camera, but I've got a funny feeling it's going to just screw me over. Does it? No, well, the wrench works. Not sure of the camera yet, so it's fine. Let's see here anyway. So I can use the included spanner, the included wrench to get this done. So top holes, bottom arms. There they are there. Ooh, get in there. I'm trying to keep this on this. Okay. Well, that's a pain. The bloody the sides of the spanner are hitting against the front bumper. So I'll try and use something else, because that's a bit annoying, because I'm going to have to just, 2 seconds. Haha! Superior! Much better. So, where were we? Let's start the thread off by hand. Try not to get it squinty. Don't be squinty, don't be squinty. There we go. Fine. And this should clear it, no problem. Oh, reverse that, there we go. And we're just tightening that up. There we go. Lovely! Halford's tools again. Good value for money, those. Right, so basically, there's no point in you sitting and watching me for all 6 of them. So, cut and we'll join it when I'm done all 6. Yeah, good. Right, that's the 6 of them in. Now you'll notice on the instructions here, and I've obviously mimicked it here, the connectors or the mounts are going on the innermost mount on the top on the shock tower, both front and back. Obviously I haven't done the front yet, but they recommend also that you're doing the inside one, so the innermost, front and back, and also the top mount on both the lower suspension arms, top there and top there, front and back. Now what that basically dictates, if in case you're wondering, is with the innermost ones and the topmost mounts in the suspension, you've got the shocks at their most laid down position, because these are where the shocks mount onto, so the shocks are the most laid down position. If you mount on the outer shock mounts on the shock towers, obviously the tops get pushed out a little bit, the shocks become a little bit more vertical. And same with the bottom arms, if you mount them down, again, what you're doing is you're just slightly pushing the shocks out. Slightly more like that, slightly more vertical. So, the difference is, if you've got shocks slightly laid in, then your car is more stable generally and easier to drive. But the more you lean your shocks out, the more you start to stand them up. The more vertical your shocks become, then the more aggressive and responsive the steering is in your car, and so technically it can change direction quicker, on theory, as long as you've got the grip to do that. And those are also all sorts of factors as well. But that's how you speed up the steering a little bit. It becomes more difficult to drive, it becomes twitchier, but it reacts quicker. So this is obviously playing it more safe and going for rather than. But the difference on this car, there's only sort of really a couple of positions, and it's not going to make a massive difference on a Tamiya TT-02. But yeah, there you are. Now the next part, or it's the same part, but the next step in it is to get these BC2s and BC1s and putting the top mounts in for the front shock towers. So let's find these BC2s first, the threaded rod, and it goes in again the inner of the shock mounts, the inner of the front mounts, and I need a 1.5mm hex wrench, an Allen key. So where are these rods? First of all, I'm assuming they'll be in the same bag. And I assumed wrongly they're not in the same bag, just because. Are they in this one? No. So where are they? Where are they? Definitely not in this one. Oh, nope, definitely not in this one. Screws coming out, but they're not in that one. That's odd. So I've got to go threaded rod hunting. Right in here. Ah, here's some threaded rod. That must be them. And yes, it's got the, yeah, that's right. It's got the other ones as well. The BC ones are in here too. It's so weird. Some of the stuff they come up with. It's in this little bag. I assume this is just AW grease. Oh, I thought this would be, you know, it makes sense if they're going to bag these separately to have them in the same bag as the shock oil, but apparently not. Just get that done quickly. Why not? There we go. So don't need that. There they are. BC1s are here, BC2s, 1, 2. Now I need to get myself an Allen key. Now I have an Allen key set over here. Can't remember which one is 1.5mm, but it might be this red one. Yes it is, okay. Now it says here, if you look here on the instructions, you've got to thread it through the shock tower to the point right here that it's flush with the back of the shock tower. So basically right through there until it stops. Well, you've got to stop it yourself, but before it protrudes out the other side, while it's still flush, in other words. So just going to keep an eye on that, keep the instructions straight. Where is it? Where is it? Come on, where are you? Well, it goes in a long way. I think maybe the pictures incorrect there, unless I've got the wrong thread rod. I can't have the wrong thread rod, there's only one. Yeah, there's only one size. So that, yeah, looks like the picture's incorrect, because it says there, quite clearly, unless, that's not supposed to be a cut off. That's what it is. That's a bit misleading. That looks to me like that's the back of the shock tower, but then what they've done is they've cut that picture. The shock tower is thicker than that. It probably goes out to about here. So what it's basically saying is keep going until it's the same height as that from the front of the shock tower. Right. Okay, I get you. Bit misleading there, but we got there. Back that out again. So what it wants you to do is just make sure it's the, yeah, it's not bad. A little bit more. This is open at the front though, so you can get access to the threaded rod if you need to. A little bit further maybe. I'll do. Finger tight, is that all? There we are, that's the first one on. And yeah, just mimic that on the other side then basically. Mimic. That's that done. Will it focus now? Oh, it'll focus a little bit because the sun's disappeared and not as glary. But there you go. Focus now. The two parts are on. Do it there just in case. So this is now the part where you've got to mount, or rather you've got to build the 4 shocks. Now building shocks is really quite tedious. So I don't know if I'll leave it in on this video yet. I'll certainly not do all 4 on video. I'll do 1 at the most. But depending on how long this takes, I might need to cut the footage again. But we'll gather the resources anyway. We need E-clips. I hate E-clips. Everybody hates E-clips, but I expected that, to be honest. 8 E-clips, 2 per shock. Man, I hate E-clips. Did I mention I hate E-clips? Right. Well, that's got the rubber. Oh, they've got the E-clips in it as well, right? Oh, bloody E-clips. Let's put them all here. Do I have everything I need? Yes, I do. It's all in here. The O-rings are here, the E-clips are here, the diaphragms are here. Right, we need piston rods, 4 of MB5s. Now these will be the piston rods in here. Randomly back to another bag we opened 3 steps ago. It's so weird, it's just sort of jumping around a little bit, but that's fine. There they go. Yep. And one more. It's the rods. It says it's red O-rings, so that's exactly what I've got here. The red O-rings, there they are. Oh geez, right. We need MB10's got them. V1s. How many of them do I need? Oh, this is showing you per shock, so basically I need 4 of them. Q3s, shock bodies. Q1s at the bottom of the shock bodies. Yeah, I need long nose pliers, I'll get them in a second. Okay, let's get the shock stuff first. Q, I'm not using any parts from the Q tree yet. This is the Q tree here. Oh no, I've used something, it must be the bumper mount or something. Q. No, this is B. Oh. Well, alright, I thought there's some shock bits on this one, apparently not. Where's the Q tree then? Is it in here? No? Is this it? Yes, it's in this little bag. Right. The Q tree, is that still going? Yes, we're all good. Everything's fine. Don't run out of battery. Q tree. Ah, okay, so it's 1 tree per shock. That's quite handy. Right, Q3. This part, I assume. Yes. Very short. Wow. Very short shock bodies. Look at that. Tiny shock body. I don't know if it'll focus. Probably not. There you go. Tiny, tiny shock body. That's weird. I've never seen such a short shock absorber on a 1/10 before. But then I suppose it is like, you know, it's supposed to be a touring car, it's supposed to be a track car, it's supposed to be low. That's pretty horrid, that burn. It's very difficult to get at because of the rounded surface here. Right, Q3 we have, Q1 is this one, and Q2 is the shock cap, which we don't need until the next page apparently. Come on, come off there. There we go. Oh, that's a bad burr. Try not to make a mess of it, Mike. That'd be lovely. It's not great. It's really not great. I'm trying to get in here. To be honest, these snips aren't great either. There's kind of chunks missing out of it because I tried to cut something that was a bit too hard once, and it dented the blades or the snipping surfaces or whatever they're called on that. Right. Let's try and assemble the first shock absorber, at least to the point where it's ready to put the cap and the oil in. I'm not actually going to put any oil in, I'll explain. But we have 2 red O-rings MB10 go in the bottom of the shock body. So, one is to stop the shock oil coming out. Obviously there won't be any shock oil. There we are. And then you literally thread this shut. It's still got these horrible burrs on it. I'm sorry, I can't. This is a display piece. I kind of have it looking scabby with burrs all over it, but it's a bit better. Right, so yeah, Q1, Q3, just like this. Dead easy. Now, E-clips, do it. Does it have to be E-clip? I need the V9 part first, which is this sort of plunger with the holes in it. Yeah, where is that? I haven't actually seen them yet, which is weird. So what I'm talking about is this part here, V9. It's a disc with 2 holes through it where the oil can pass through when you're plunging it down with the shocks moving up and down. But where are they? They're not in there. I don't even know what colour they are, so I don't really know if they'll grab my eye. They're not in there. They're not in there. Wait a second. What number are they? V9. I bet there's a V3 and they're plastic. And they're just... Yeah, here's a V3. There we are. Thought there might be. There we go. V9. That one there. So, oh look, you get different... Basically, you get different... 3 different... not sizes, but types. So one's got 1 hole, one's got 2 holes, one's got 3 holes. It recommends the middle one, the 2-hole one. That allows more or less oil to pass through. Don't know if you can see there, but yeah, 1, 2, and 3. The more oil that passes through, the less damping effect your shock will have. It's like if you add a thicker oil to your shock absorber, it slows down the damping, it makes the spring. It resists the spring harder, resists more against the spring to try and stop it oscillating. And this amounts to the same sort of thing. The more holes you have in it, the easier the liquid can pass through, the less it dampens the spring. But we're going for the middle one because that's where they recommend. Not that it matters because I won't be running this car still, and there's also not going to be any oil in it. The reason I'm not putting any shock oil in the car, obviously it's on display, so it doesn't really... That's horrible, by the way. Tamiya, don't do that. Don't do that. What's happened here is you cut it off a parts tree, there's a burr. You've got to try and cut the burr off because it's got a slot. This has to seal against the side of the shock body. On the inside, it has to seal round it so the oil passes through the holes, not round outside of it. That's the whole point. But then you try to cut a burr off, inevitably you're going to shave off some material off the side of it. In which case, either the burr's on a little bit and it doesn't quite, sit in nicely because it's sealed all the way around apart from there's a sticky out bit, or you cut too much off and you've essentially added a small third hole to this disc. What are they calling it anyway? They're not calling you anything. But yeah, that's pretty horrible. That. Trying not to damage the side of it. That I don't like. That I really don't like. This could be made of a higher quality material, maybe a metal or whatever, and be set in a bag, not on a parts tree, to be snapped off. Because look, I don't know if you can see, but here's the thing. There's a tiny burr. I'm trying to get it off, but I'm not sure if I can get it off. and I've got to put it through here, and it's got sealed at the sides, and if I've taken off too much, the oil would, I mean, it's not, for me, it's not a problem, because yes, I am actually, you know, I'm having this on display, but for someone who wants to race this, it's not really a race car, it's more sort of entry-level car, but I don't know how much more it would cost Tamiya to have, you know, these discs made of metal and in a bag, so I don't have to cut a burr off and maybe damage the side of it, and it won't, even now it won't perfectly seal against the side of it, because there has to be a tolerance there, because they know there's going to be a burr or whatever. It's just, oh, that's not great, that isn't great. I may be making too much of a fuss about it, to be fair, but the reason I'm making so much fuss about slop and play and things like this, I know some people are just like, get on with it, it's just a Tamiya, get on with it, it's just an entry level Tamiya. Tuning cars, right, the number one thing about tuning cars, the most important aspect about tuning cars, is that they handle better than any other RC. The handling is the tuning car's swan song, it's its bread and butter. A truggy, a monster truck, a buggy, they can all go off-road, they can all do jumps, they can all do all these different things a touring car can't do. But a touring car out-handles them all. It lives and dies by its handling. And if you've got stuff like this, every little tiny increment adds up, and then you're taking away its handling ability. Like, I'm not going to say it's bad, because it won't be bad. My TT-01 is, you know, a great handling car now, since I've sort of modified it over the years. But, you know, it will never, ever, ever, ever match up to a properly designed race car, because these sort of things matter, and they're taken into account when designing a proper race car. So there you go. Right, I'm going to try and put this E-clip on using the table. I'll probably dent the table, but I don't really care. This table's had plenty of stuff happen to it over the time. Come on. There we go. So there's the plunger. Now we'll see how well this goes in. How well it seals to the bottom here. Get in. Yeah, I can see there's a gap all the way around. It doesn't seal perfectly. I mean, it's fine, and oil would struggle to go through it, but it doesn't seal all the way through. It doesn't. But anyway, that's just how it is. Now, V1. V1. Here it is, V1. If I? Yeah, this is the tree I've been using. Okay. Just used to seeing the tree with more bits missing off it. Okay. And cut these burrs off. I think I said the word burr more on this build than I've ever said in my life combined. Well, this and the TT-01 build, of course. Right. Now, what you're supposed to do here is thread this on the end of this thread. Is that still going? Yes. Thread that on the end of this threaded rod. Can you see that? I don't know if you can, but basically thread that on there. You'll only get so far until it starts to resist you, and you won't be able to grip it hard enough, in which case you're supposed to use pliers to hold it. But yeah, although it's quite soft, I'm actually doing okay here. Now I've got to the point now where I need pliers, but you can't just go and clip pliers on, because what you'll do, especially, I mean, again, this is a shelfer, but if you're running this car, what happens if you and grab that metal shaft, I'll show it on this camera, like that with your pliers, you'll dent and scratch this metal shaft, which means as it goes in and out, it won't seal against the O-rings in here, because there'll be a gap, because it's damaged, in which case you'll have oil leaking out of the bump in the shock every time the shock moves up and down, and eventually you'll have oil down onto your bottom arms and everything, and it means your shock oil will get dirt inside it, and it'll get dirty, so your shocks won't work very well. You'll leak oil, and they'll get air in the shocks, and that'll further reduce it. You just don't want to do that. So what to do is either use kitchen roll or a piece of electrical tape or whatever, wrap around tape around there, then use the pliers so you can grip it hard enough that you can stop it spinning, in which case you can hand tighten, but at the same time you're not biting into the metal, which is what I'm going to do now. See, there you go, tape on the shaft to protect it, holding it with the pliers, and just twist. There we are, and you just take the tape off, which is more difficult, oh sorry, it's easier said than done, is what I meant to say. Come on. Come on. So this is why I like to use kitchen roll as well. It doesn't do it. This doesn't happen. See that? There we go. Lovely. That's very stiff. It's very stiff. I'll need. You're going to run these things. That's going to need worked back and forward a fair amount because it's the O-rings inside are quite brittle, and they need to sort of. Brittle's maybe the wrong word, but you know what I mean. The O-rings need worked a bit to loosen off a little bit. But there we are. Now, what I'm supposed to do is do 4 and then go to the next step. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build one shock properly, mount it to the car, show you it built, and then go back and do the other 3 off camera because, like I said, I'm not going to sit and do all 4 of them on camera because that's just really tedious. Here's the oil section. Again, I'm not putting shock oil in it, but just so that you know, fill the oil up to the designated place, which is basically the top of the threads here, right to the top, and then push it up slowly, bleed out any air. The air will push out. You'll lose some oil because obviously the air bubble will come out and the oil level will drop. Top it up again, make sure, and then just work it back and forth a few times until you're satisfied that there's no more air bubbles and it's sealed. Then it's the diaphragm on the top, this way around, so rounded edge downward. Then you screw the caps on. Now, I don't know if the caps are bleedable. If they bleed, there's no bleeding holes. No, there's no bleeding holes on these. Some of the high end stuff has got bleeding holes, so if you do overfill them, they'll just bleed out, which is fine. But this doesn't have that. But we're literally going to now. Have I? Yes, we'll use this one. This one here. This is part number Q2. It's the shock cap. Q2. Look at the size of that bar. See, look at it. It's like a shark fin. Right, there you go. I'm not going to put the diaphragms in. I might put the diaphragms in just to seal it off, even though there's no oil. It doesn't matter. Not getting run. Yeah, the reason I'm not using it. Sorry, the reason I'm not putting oil in it. Obviously, it's just for display, but. If it sits for a long time with oil in it, eventually the O-rings will degrade enough to the point that the oil will start running out the bottom of it and stuff. Not only will that mean dust and everything will get in, but also it will just make a mess of everything. The dust will stick to that, and it's just, you don't want to do it. Fill it with air, nice and clean. It's just going to sit on display anyway. Springs, I think they're all the same rate. They are MB8, MB8. So the springs are the same rate front to back. That makes it nice and easy. So you just need 2 of these. These are the springs. Let's see, they're all tangled amongst each other. That's the problem with putting springs in a bag. Look at that. How am I supposed to get those 2 apart? That's 2. I'll do that for the ones off camera because I have, these are the front and back. These are sorry, what I'm saying is it doesn't matter if they're front to back because they're all the same rate. Oh, they're quite stiff. They're quite stiff springs actually for a sort of beginner kit. They're quite stiff. Road holding in mind, handling in mind. Yeah. So, put that on the side just now. There we go. I like the fact that although it's all white, they picked black springs. It contrasts lovely, lovely. And then V5 is the bottom here. Now, this is it here, V5. Now, if you're wondering, if you're new to all this, you're wondering what these are spacers which allow you to mount them above the spring. So, say you wanted to raise the ride height a little bit. You'd put them, the spring goes in like that, you'd put them above the spring here, and that'll sort of space it out a little bit more, and you can stack them up, and you can just basically increase the ride height a little bit. Or you can put the spring under tension that way as well, which essentially, without buying new springs, because the spring's already under tension before you start the compression with the cornering and stuff, and the bump management, because they're already under tension, it essentially stiffens the spring a little bit, because you're starting from, because obviously a spring will resist more and more as you compress it. So this spring is essentially stiffer like that than it is starting from there and doing that. But it's not as good as picking stiffer springs and changing your setup properly. It's just another little thing you can do. So you know is it suggest? No, okay, for the is it? Use spacers to adjust spring tension. So on the back, it's saying use the spacers to adjust the spring tension if you want. But in the front, it's saying attach first. Use the V7 spacer first. Do you see that? So maybe without that, maybe it might sit low down to the front. We'll see what it looks like. Obviously, when I'm building this, I'm going to put a Lancia Delta Integrale shell on, which is a rally car, so it'll sit a little bit higher. So if I feel like it needs to sit a bit higher or a bit lower, I can change all that. But I might not put any specials in when I first build it. I don't think I will, because we'll see how it feels. So there's your completed shock. Obviously there's no oil in it. What I'm going to do is just clip it on the back here. It says back. Doing the back first, rear dampers first, yeah. Because these are now just ball studs, it should push on. Well, I imagine it's going to be quite resistant to me here. Oh, yeah, it is. I'd rather not use a. Thing is, I'd rather not use a pair of pliers because I'll damage the plastic. But it's not being friendly. Can I use the the rubber handle of the screwdriver? Can I do it that way? It's maybe a bit. Come on. There we go. And, push this one on as well, if I can. A lot of resistance here. Oh, come on. Come on, you. It's not easy. It's not easy. There we go. Right. And there's the first spring, or the first shock on it. That's the rear one, obviously. And there it is. So what I'll do is off camera, I'll do all four, and then we'll come back and see what it looks like. It seems they're tiny though. Look at them. There's no travel in that at all. There's all the travel in it. Right, well, that took all of my life. It's now much later. You could probably tell by the ambient light in here. But that's it done now. I've got the shock absorbers on all four corners. Now, I've gone for the thicker of the spacers on the front here. It says here to use V7 and V4. I don't know if is that on the screen? It says V7, the thicker one, and V4, the thinner one. It says to do that for the front. I've only done the thicker ones at the moment because there's no spacers at all on the back, and I'm going to see how it sits before. You know, that's the sort of thing I can fiddle around with when the car is completely built. But that's it's looking much more complete now. This is a big stage in terms of the final result. Not much more to do, really. Yeah, it's looking good. It's beginning to look like a proper little chassis now, with its shocks and everything on it. But there we are. Thank you very much for watching. Jack, hopefully it'll be quicker than last time. Sorry about that. But take care of yourselves until then, and we'll see you soon. See you later.